Solitude is often misunderstood. To many, it can appear as emptiness, a void where companionship and connection should be. But solitude, when embraced, can be a crucible for growth, a space where strength is forged and individuality thrives. For a woman with no friends, solitude is not just a state of being, it is a teacher, a companion, and a mirror reflecting her resilience back at her. Imagine a life where there is no one to call late at night when the weight of the world feels too heavy, no one to share the small victories or the silent heartbreaks. At first glance, it might seem like a lonely and unbearable existence. But look closer. That woman, in her solitude, finds something many overlook: a relationship with herself. Without the distractions of constant company or the noise of external opinions, she learns to listen to the quiet voice within, the one that whispers truths often drowned out by the world around her. In solitude, she discovers her own strength. There's no one else to lean on, so she becomes her own pillar. There's no one to guide her through the storms, so she learns to read the winds, to navigate by her own stars. It's not an easy path. There are moments of doubt, days when the silence feels oppressive, and nights when the absence of others feels like a hollow echo. But over time, she realizes that the silence is not her enemy. It is her canvas. On it, she paints her dreams, her fears, her plans, and her triumphs. In a world that often measures a person's worth by the size of their social circle, choosing solitude can be a radical act. It's a declaration that her value is intrinsic, not dependent on who surrounds her. This is not to say she doesn't long for connection, of course she does. But she refuses to let the lack of friends define her. She knows that her worth is not diminished by her aloneness. Instead, she finds power in it. She learns to enjoy her own company, to appreciate the freedom that comes with not having to please or appease others. Solitude teaches her to be resourceful. When she faces a problem, there's no committee to consult, no group chat to brainstorm solutions. It's just her, the challenge, and her determination. And so she becomes a problem solver, a critical thinker, and a strategist. Each challenge she overcomes on her own adds another layer to resilience. She doesn't just survive, she thrives, becoming stronger with every obstacle she conquers. But solitude doesn't just build strength, it reveals it. It strips away the noise and the clutter, leaving behind the essence of who she truly is. Without the influence of others, she has the freedom to explore her interests, her beliefs, and her dreams. She learns what she loves and what she doesn't, what fuels her passion and what drains her energy. She becomes unapologetically herself because there is no one around to tell her she shouldn't be. This strength in solitude is not a cold, unfeeling strength. It is warm, compassionate, and deeply rooted in self-awareness. It allows her to face the world with grace and confidence, knowing that she has already faced the toughest critic herself and earned her own approval. It is a strength that others might not always understand, but it doesn't matter because it is hers, and hers alone. Solitude also gives her the gift of time to reflect, to grow, and to heal. Without the constant demands of maintaining friendships or social obligations, she has the freedom to focus on herself. She invests in her personal growth, hones her skills, and pursues her passions. She reads, she writes, she creates. Her solitude becomes a sanctuary where she can. Survival is not just about making it through life's challenges, it's about finding the courage to face them head on, no matter how daunting they may seem. For a woman with no friends, survival requires an extraordinary kind of courage, one that is not always seen or celebrated, but is deeply rooted in her spirit and strength. Imagine waking up each day knowing that you must carry the full weight of your struggles alone. There's no reassuring voice to remind you that everything will be okay, no friend to lend a helping hand or offer a shoulder to lean on. This reality might seem isolating, but for her, it becomes a proving ground for her resilience. She faces life's storms with a bravery that comes not from the absence of fear, but from the determination to move forward despite it. Courage for her is not about grand, heroic gestures. It's in the small, everyday acts of persistence that others might overlook. It's in waking up each morning and choosing to fight another day, even when the odds feel stacked against her. It's in the decision to believe in herself when no one else is around to offer encouragement. This courage is quiet and steadfast, built from years of learning to rely on herself and trust her own instincts. The path she walks is not easy. Without the support of friends, she must navigate life's complexities on her own. There are moments of deep doubt when the challenges seem insurmountable and the temptation to give up looms large. But in those moments, she finds an inner reservoir of strength. She draws upon her past experiences, remembering the times she overcame difficulties when it seemed impossible. Each victory, no matter how small, becomes a reminder that she has what it takes to survive. Her courage is not limited to enduring hardships, it's also about taking risks and stepping into the unknown. Without a network of friends to fall back on, every leap of faith she takes carries greater stakes. Yet she refuses to let fear hold her back. Whether it's pursuing a new career, moving to a new city, or embarking on a personal journey, she faces these challenges with a bravery that inspires. She understands that survival is not about playing it safe, it's about daring to live fully, even when the path is uncertain. This woman's courage also lies in her ability to be vulnerable. While it might seem paradoxical, vulnerability is one of the purest forms of bravery. She acknowledges her fears, her doubts, and her struggles not as weaknesses but as truths that shape her journey. She doesn't hide from her pain but confronts it, learning and growing from each experience. Her willingness to face her emotions head-on allows her to heal and move forward with a deeper understanding of herself. Her survival is also marked by her ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and without a safety net of friends, she must learn to navigate its twists and turns on her own. She becomes resourceful and creative, finding solutions to problems that others might not consider. Each setback becomes an opportunity to learn and grow, shaping her into a stronger, wiser version of herself. Her courage is not just for her own benefit, it's a light that shines for others. While she may not have friends in the traditional sense, her strength and determination inspire those who cross her path. Her story becomes a testament to the power of perseverance, reminding others that it is possible to rise above adversity and find meaning in even the most challenging circumstances. There is a quiet dignity in her survival, a grace that comes from knowing she has faced life's difficulties on her own terms. She doesn't seek pity or recognition for her journey. Instead, she carries herself with a sense of pride, knowing that she has earned every ounce of her strength. Her courage is not about perfection or an absence of struggle. It's about her refusal to give up, no matter how difficult the road may be. In the end, her survival and courage. Self-reliance is a profound and empowering trait, cultivated not through ease but through necessity and the challenges life places before us. For a woman with no friends, self-reliance is not merely a choice, it is a way of life, a skill honed through experiences that demand strength, independence, and resourcefulness. It is the art of standing firm on one's own 2 feet when there is no one else to lean on, a journey of becoming both the navigator and the anchor in one's own story. Life without friends means forging ahead alone, and this requires an inner resolve that many never have to summon. For her, there is no immediate circle of advice or emotional support to draw upon when decisions weigh heavily. Instead, she must trust her instincts and judgment, even when uncertainty clouds her path. Each choice she makes, every challenge she overcomes, reinforces her ability to rely on herself. This is not born out of arrogance but necessity, an unspoken acknowledgement that she is capable of finding her way, even in the absence of a guiding hand. Her self-reliance is most evident in the way she approaches problems. When difficulties arise, there is no one to brainstorm solutions with, no one to share the burden of worry or fear. It is just her, standing face to face with the obstacle. And so she learns to think critically, to analyze situations deeply, and to trust her ability to navigate even the most complex issues. This capacity to solve problems becomes her strength, transforming what others might see as limitations into opportunities for growth. But self-reliance is not just about overcoming external challenges, it is also about tending to her internal world. Without friends to share her innermost thoughts and feelings, she becomes her own confidant. She learns to sit with her emotions, to process her fears, her doubts, and her joys without seeking external validation. This deep introspection leads to an intimate understanding of herself, her values, her desires, her strengths, and her weaknesses. She becomes attuned to her inner voice, trusting it to guide her through life's complexities. In her solitude, she also discovers the importance of setting her own goals and pursuing them with determination. Without the influence or expectations of a social circle, she is free to define success on her own terms. She learns what truly matters to her and channels her energy into those pursuits. Her achievements, no matter how big or small, are hers alone, unshaped by the opinions of others. This independence fosters a deep sense of pride and fulfillment, as every step forward is a testament to her ability to carve out her path. Self-reliance also teaches her resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with setbacks and disappointments. While others might have friends to share the load or provide comfort, she learns to carry it herself. She builds the emotional strength to pick herself up after every fall, to face adversity with unwavering determination. Each time she bounces back, she proves to herself that she is capable of handling whatever comes her way. This resilience becomes a cornerstone of her self-reliance, a reminder that she is stronger than she once believed. Her self-reliance extends to practical matters as well. Without friends to share responsibilities or tasks, she becomes adept at managing her own life. Whether it's handling finances, maintaining her home, or navigating career challenges, she takes full ownership of her circumstances. This sense of accountability empowers her, reinforcing the idea that she is in control of her destiny. She is not dependent on anyone else to meet her needs or fulfill her dreams. She is the architect of her own life. Yet, her self-reliance is not a rejection of others or an attempt to isolate herself. It is simply an acknowledgement that at the end of the day, she must be her own greatest ally. She understands that relationships can enrich life, but that her strength and happiness cannot depend solely on them. This perspective allows her to approach connections with others from a place of authenticity and mutual respect, rather than neediness or dependence. Ultimately, self-reliance is her superpower. It is what allows her to move through life with confidence, knowing that she has the skills, the courage, and the determination to face whatever lies ahead. It is a quiet but profound strength, a wellspring of capability that sustains her through life's highs and lows. In relying on herself, she has found freedom to be true to who she is, to pursue her dreams, and to face life's challenges on her own terms. Solitude and loneliness are often mistaken for one another, but they are fundamentally different experiences. Solitude is a state of being alone by choice, a deliberate withdrawal into one's own company to reflect, recharge, or simply exist without the distractions of the world. Loneliness, on the other hand, is the pain of being alone when companionship is desired. It is a feeling of isolation, a longing for connection that remains unmet. For a woman with no friends, this distinction is crucial. Her journey is not one of sadness defined by loneliness, but one of empowerment shaped by solitude. When someone is alone without friends, it's easy for outsiders to assume she must feel lonely, as though the absence of a social circle automatically equates to a sense of loss. But for her, solitude can be a sanctuary rather than a burden. It's a space where she can think clearly, free from the expectations and pressures of others. In solitude, she finds the time to truly know herself, to explore her own thoughts, desires, and dreams without interference. This intentional aloneness becomes a tool for growth, allowing her to develop an intimate relationship with her own mind and soul. Loneliness, however, is a more complex and painful state. It stems not from the absence of people, but from the absence of meaningful connection. Loneliness whispers doubts and insecurities, questioning one's worth or belonging. But this woman, having faced and understood loneliness, learns that her value does not depend on others' presence or approval. Instead of letting loneliness consume her, she transforms it into an opportunity to embrace solitude, recognizing that being alone does not mean being unloved or unworthy. Her solitude becomes a wellspring of creativity and focus. Without the noise of constant conversation or the pull of social obligations, she can dedicate herself to the things that truly matter to her. She reads deeply, writes freely, and creates boldly. Her mind, unencumbered by distractions, has the space to wander and discover. In solitude, she learns the beauty of her own company, finding joy in the quiet moments and contentment in her independence. It's in these moments that she realizes solitude is not a deficiency but a gift. The experience of solitude teaches her to appreciate her own strength. She learns that she can face life's challenges without the immediate support of others. Each problem she solves, each decision she makes on her own, reinforces her resilience. This self-reliance becomes a source of pride, a testament to her ability to navigate the world on her terms. While loneliness might have once whispered that she was inadequate or forgotten, solitude now speaks a different truth: she is capable, complete, and enough. Yet solitude does not mean isolation. It's important to recognize that choosing solitude doesn't require a rejection of the world or a disdain for others. She still values human connection, but she doesn't define herself by it. She understands that relationships can enhance life, but that her worth isn't dependent on them. This distinction allows her to approach potential connections from a place of authenticity and strength rather than need or desperation. She knows she can thrive on her own, and this confidence shapes how she interacts with others. There are moments, of course, when the weight of solitude feels heavier than usual. Even the most self-assured person can feel the pang of loneliness when faced with life's hardships or celebrations without someone to share them with. But these moments don't define her. Instead, they remind her of her humanity, her longing for connection, and her capacity to endure. She acknowledges these feelings without letting them dictate her sense of self-worth. She knows they are fleeting, just as joy and contentment can be. Her journey through solitude also fosters a deep sense of empathy. Because she has experienced loneliness, she understands its pain. This makes her attuned to the struggles of others, even if she chooses to walk her path alone. Her solitude doesn't make her indifferent, it makes her compassionate. She can. The sound of progress is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's the quiet rustle of pages in a book, the gentle tap of fingers on a keyboard, or the steady rhythm of footsteps on an uncertain path. For a woman forging her way forward without the camaraderie of friends, the sound of progress resonates deeply, not as external applause, but as the internal hum of perseverance, growth, and transformation. Progress begins with a decision, a commitment to move forward, despite challenges, doubts, or the absence of external encouragement. For her, this decision is an act of courage. It's the moment she chooses to define her life not by what she lacks, but by what she can achieve. This choice sets her on a journey marked by determination and resilience. She begins to focus on her goals, no matter how distant they might seem, and each step forward becomes a testament to her ability to create momentum on her own terms. The sound of progress is the stillness of reflection. In solitude, she has the opportunity to take stock of where she has been and where she wants to go. This introspection is not always easy. It requires her to confront her fears and limitations, to acknowledge her missteps, and to forgive herself for them. Yet through this process, she gains clarity and direction. She learns to distinguish between the noise of doubt and the voice of her inner wisdom. This quiet reflection becomes the foundation for meaningful action, ensuring that her progress is not random but purposeful. As she moves forward, the sound of progress becomes the rhythm of her work. Without friends to cheer her on or share the workload, she takes full ownership of her efforts. Whether it's building a career, mastering a skill, or pursuing a passion, she learns to rely on her discipline and focus. The hours she spends honing her craft may go unnoticed by others, but she feels the satisfaction of each small improvement. The steady effort she invests becomes a symphony of persistence, each action contributing to the larger composition of her success. Progress is also the sound of overcoming obstacles. Life is not without its challenges, and for her, those challenges can feel amplified in the absence of a support system. Yet she faces each hurdle with unwavering determination. The sound of progress here is the shattering of barriers, the breaking of limitations she once thought insurmountable. It's the moments when she refuses to give up, finding creative solutions and inner strength she didn't know she had. Each victory, no matter how small, adds to the crescendo of her progress, a reminder of her capability and resilience. The sound of progress is the whispers of learning. She embraces the opportunity to grow, whether through formal education, personal experiences, or the wisdom gained from her mistakes. Learning becomes her companion, a constant source of inspiration and motivation. The knowledge she acquires empowers her, giving her the tools to navigate her journey with confidence. It reminds her that progress is not just about reaching a destination, but about evolving along the way. For her, the sound of progress is also the gentle sigh of self-compassion. She understands that growth is not a straight line and that setbacks are inevitable. Instead of berating herself for moments of failure, she chooses to treat herself with kindness. This self-compassion allows her to recover quickly, to see setbacks not as endings but as opportunities to learn and adapt. The ability to extend grace to herself becomes a vital part of her progress, ensuring that she doesn't lose momentum even when the road is difficult. As she continues on her journey, the sound of progress becomes the quiet confidence in her voice. It's the way she carries herself, knowing that her achievements are the result of her own efforts and determination. This confidence is not about boasting or seeking validation from others. It's an internal assurance that she is capable of shaping her own future. It's the calm certainty that comes from knowing she is on the right path, even if it is one she walks alone. In the end, the sound of progress for her is the harmony of self-discovery and empowerment. It's the realization that she doesn't need external validation or the constant presence of others to thrive. Her journey is unique, shaped by her choices, her resilience, and her dreams. The sound of progress is not always loud or celebrated, but it is steady, deliberate, and profoundly fulfilling. It is the music of a life lived with purpose, a testament to her ability to keep moving forward no matter what.